Hi there. If you've wanted to know what it's like to live in Arlington, Washington in the beautiful Pacific Northwest, then you're going to want to watch today's video. Hi, my name is KerryannPray. I'm with Team HomeMatch Northwest, selling real estate right here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. And today I'm talking with one of my team members, real estate broker Stephanie Weber.
Hi there.
We're going to be talking about Arlington, Washington today. And Stephanie has been a resident of Arlington, Washington for a few years now.
We're going on just over 4.
Oh, great. Yeah. So we're going to get the scoop on what it's like to live in Arlington, Washington. We're going to talk about Arlington, Washington, what I love and what I hate. So please stay tuned. So we're going to go over some of the things that you love about Arlington. You had a pretty long list.
Yeah.
We talked about it beforehand, and she had a really long list of the things that she loved.
Yeah.
So let's start with the things that you love.
Well, so my family loves the outdoors, and I think that's probably why I had such a long list, is because there's so many things you can do outside and eat. So we love to be outside and eat, and I realize that's most of my list. But I would say like number one is the fact that the Snohomish Trail goes through town itself. So you can park, you can eat, you can shop, then you can go for a walk. You've got river access. You've got a park down there, so it's great for kids and go and play. I know a lot of people go tubing down there, bring your dogs.
Yeah.
I walk the Centennial Trail a lot, so it's nice to have that as an access point. You've got tons of things, though. If you like hiking, you're right off of 530, so you can go out into the mountains. My husband goes out there a lot. You have access to all sorts of things outdoors. The perk, too, is that there's the Arlington Airport Trail, which is huge. It goes all around the airport. And then even if you want a little short trip around it, it's got the side over by Smoky Point. So I think that's really nice. You don't get to see that in a lot of kind of grown-up neighborhoods.
There's lots of opportunities for walking. You know, the Centennial Trail you may have seen in some of our other videos. And if you're not from the Puget Sound area, you don't know. But the Centennial Trail is approximately 18 miles. You can bike and walk and run on the Centennial Trail. In fact, my son learned how to ride his bicycle there. So it's a nice paved trail, runs 18 miles from Snohomish all the way up to Mount Vernon area now, I think.
It goes pretty far up there. Not quite to Mount Vernon, it's just south of it, but they have a brand new trailhead, which is really nice.
And it runs right through Arlington. And then the airport road, I know I did a 10K there.
That's where I did my first 10K actually
too. So I know that that's just about 6 miles round trip.
Yep.
And that's really nice for trails, and it does have some paved areas as well. So if you like trail running or you want to take the dog for a walk, I see a lot of people there with their dogs.
Yeah, and I have a heavy duty stroller, so it's nice to kind of go off-roading with your stroller on the trail, or you can go to the pavement for the Centennial Trail too, which is really nice.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then you talked about some hikes as well. 530, man, that has so many beautiful hikes on it. Some of our favorites are out there.
Well, and it just takes minutes to get there. You hop onto 530 and you're there. So that's the nice thing, is you're not sitting there trying to, spend a half an hour or more to get onto 5 or Highway 2. You're just already there. It's a quick little stop.
Yeah. And if you want to head over to east of the mountains in the summertime, 530 goes all the way over to east of the mountains, over the North Cascades Pass. North Cascades Pass. This beautiful, stunning drive. So 530 has a lot of really beautiful scenery.
It does.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the nice thing too is that the old town part of Arlington has so many different shops you can go and shop and eat. We actually go a lot to Stilly Diner. They have lunch and breakfast. It's
really good.
Yeah, and it's funny because since we've lived there, it's like our go-to place. And anytime we recommend it, everyone that we mentioned it to, like, oh, I love Stilly. I mean, they're in Everett. They're
gonna have to try it.
Yeah, it's really, really good. They've actually used to have really long lines because there was no sign-in sheet. So you just have to stand there and wait. Now they have a sign-in sheet and they'll call your name. So
nice.
Perfect.
Good. You had some other favorite restaurants around there too.
Yeah, so there's, let's see, it's the Junkyard Grill.
Yes, great burgers. Huge burgers.
And their shakes. They are closed on Mondays, so keep that in mind.
Note to self. And it's really cool because the restaurant is all set up like an old junkyard. Now, it doesn't sound attractive to Eden, but it is really cool. There's some nice antique automobile memorabilia.
It's almost like a diner, but
Yeah.
kind of a fun, funky flair to it.
Yeah, and open in the summertime. They open it up, and it's nice, kind of outdoor eating experience, but you're not quite outdoors.
Yeah, and they have grass and picnic tables and all that.
Yeah, I love that place.
Yeah, and I'd say the other big one that we really like up in actual downtown Arlington is Moe's Coffee.
Yeah, we met them for coffee.
Yep, they're nice. They've got also they just expanded to the lounge, which is next door to it. So it's a 21 and older, sort of like a kind of hangout, not wine bar, but they've got all sorts of events that could pop up, and they started doing live music.
Oh, fun.
So, yeah, fun
I think
opportunities.
you mentioned that when we were there, that they were doing kind of a 21 and up type of a area too.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things I like about Arlington is the fact that you get the access to all of the fun, like, recreational things, but you can also choose, do you want to live close to town and you can walk to all of these things, which is fantastic when you've got your dogs and your kids and not have to load the car. Or you can move out just a little bit further out, let's say east or so, and you get really nice property. Beautiful views, lots of land.
Very rural, private.
Yes.
A lot of farms, still a lot of farms, a lot of animals.
Or and if you want the sort of old town feel, but let's say if you're like my husband who works in the South End, wants to be closer to the freeway, you've got Smoky Point. Yeah. So you're still, less than 10-minute drive to downtown and all of the Arlington pieces we talked about, but you're 2 minutes from the freeway. Yeah. So no matter really where you work, you just hop the freeway and you go.
Well, and you talked about with shopping, a lot of the old town feel, like Moe's is in the old town, and Arlington Hardware, which I know is another thing that you like.
Yes, which Super Saturday, first Saturday of every month, you get 20% off the whole store. So
and the housewares in there are amazing. The clothing, I love the clothing. It's definitely my style. Yeah. Could spend a lot of money in there. But you're close to those things, in the Smoky Point area. And then you also are close to kind of the more modern shopping, like Costco, Target, Walmart,
Hobby Lobby. They've got
another one of my addictions. Yeah.
They have a wine bar over there too, so hidden wine.
Yep, I've been there. That's really good.
Really good. Really good appetizers and really good happy hour. Yeah. And next door to that is actually the kind of healthy, organic pet food store that we use for our dogs. It's called Jules Animal House.
I haven't tried it.
They've got some super fun things in there. And then once a week, they usually have someone come in and they'll do nail trims for their dogs.
I hate doing
that. We just usually drive them across. Yeah. Down there. Yeah. And then they've got a dog wash station in the back. But they're really, really knowledgeable. Right. We've gone in there multiple times. We have one dog that's, had stomach issues for a few years, and I'd go in there and just explain to them and go, I don't know what to do. And they were really helpful. They would go through it. Wow. And they, say, here, try this out. Come back, let us know. And they actually just opened a location in Burlington. And I went up there, actually, to go to the outlet mall a few weeks back. And I walked in, and the lady that's working there was one that was down south in Smoky Point, and she recognized me, and we chatted for like 20 minutes. Wow. She was like, oh, I hadn't seen you forever. So
that's a good small business right there.
Yeah, they're really, really nice.
Very cool. And, speaking of the dogs, you're pretty close to a dog park, too, at Strawberry Fields, if you're in Smoky Point area. And then close to the outlet mall and the casino and all that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you've got all of that there, which is really
nice. The freeway accessibility is so good.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, I would say we've definitely have clients that are talking about, like, not wanting to move too far north. Right. But in reality, if you want to kind of gauge how far north versus how far, east or west from I-5 you're going, because my husband does have coworkers that work out in Duval and Woodinville area, and there's times where he'll actually make it home before those other guys, just simply because he's straight up I-5.
Right. That I-5 corridor being right off of it in Smoky Point makes a big difference.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. And then if you go into town, Arlington too, it's not that bad because 530 is 50 miles an hour. Most of 530 is 50 miles an hour, so you get out there pretty quickly. So did we talk about everything you love already? Or we got more?
I don't know. I could probably go on about it for a lot longer. But yeah, that's why I would say the most common things that we use on a day-to-day and enjoy day-to-day.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's a very convenient area. So we started to talk about highways and freeways a little bit, and I remember that was one of the things that you didn't love so much.
Yes. So most people that I run into that don't want to move necessarily that far north, it's because of traffic or what they call the Marysville bottleneck, which is true. At certain times of the day, it can get pretty bogged down. But I guess it's kind of a pro and a con because traffic getting up there can be a pain. However, they are doing construction right now to widen I-5, change in some of the on-ramps, off-ramps for Marysville to get away from that train and all of that, and opening up the shoulder during certain hours of the day to drive up. So in theory, if the construction, when it gets done here in a couple of years, it could alleviate a lot of that.
Yeah.
But we will have to weather the next maybe 2 years or so of construction,
right.
which we know how that goes. But they've been working on it already for the last 6 months or more maybe, and it really hasn't impacted us too much.
What would you say a normal drive time into like North Everett would be?
From Smoky Point, Arlington down to North Everett?
Yeah.
From Smoky Point, like once you hit the freeway down to Everett, you can get there. North Everett could even be 15 minutes. If you're going to go to like the Boeing freeway exit areas, you're looking at like 20 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
No, not
under
bad
a
at
half
all.
hour.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and really, a worst case scenario, assuming there's no accidents or anything like that, even during the Boeing shift changes when the factory gets out, going north, that's usually where you're going to see the worst part of traffic is trying to get home.
Right, about 2:30.
2:30, 3-ish, somewhere in there. Even during that, you're still looking at leaving like a Boeing freeway or the Boeing parking lot itself to get off of the freeway up in Arlington or Smoky Point. Worst case scenario, you're looking at like 40 minutes perhaps, which really isn't too bad when you compare the against like people commuting to
Seattle and things like that, where you're a little bit further out.
Yeah, even those that live in like Snohomish, even. I mean, you're not going to have direct freeway access. Right. You're in all these back roads.
You got to weave through.
So you're really not adding a ton of extra time.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, and then I think the other thing would just be simply during the holidays, because the outlet mall is there, and we do get a lot of traffic from Canada, a ton of traffic from Canada. It can get pretty bogged down with the couple of Marysville exits, Smoky Point exit, because of all the shopping, the Costco and the outlet mall and things like that. Yeah. It gets pretty crazy during the holiday.
We're really only about an hour and a half, a little over an hour from the Canadian border. So we actually do get a lot of traffic, really a lot of business and income from the Canadian residents coming down and shopping in our area.
A lot of charter buses that come down.
Yeah, they come down in droves sometimes in order to go shopping at the outlet mall. And it's great, and especially during Christmas time, we have a lot of tourists coming specifically just to shop down there, which is great for the economy. It can be a little bit tricky for traffic at Christmas time, but what isn't tricky for traffic?
And I mean, this year I even went down to Linwood, Alderwood Mall area. I hadn't gone there 2 Christmases ago, and I made it back up to Arlington. I'm like, I'm not going to complain anymore. It was pretty good compared to that. So really, I think it's just everywhere. It's getting more busy.
It's nice to have it so convenient for sure. Yeah. Okay. Anything else or?
No.
Okay. Well, gosh, thank you so much. You gave us a really good idea of what it's like to live in Arlington. And I just, like you mentioned, love Arlington for the fact that you can live in a more suburban setting, or you can go out and have a very rural, very private lifestyle. You can choose to drive in and have dinner or have a cup of coffee at Moe's or partake in Super Saturday, but you don't have to. You can stay at home and have the privacy of your own home as well. So thank you so much for watching this video, you guys. Hopefully we will see you in the next one. Bye.